He was the one who separated the twins, who calmed the celestial quarrelers, and who wrote down the name of every pharaoh even before his birth. Demons feared him, and kings respected him. The ancient Greeks called him Hermes Trismegistus and considered him the author of all occult sciences. Today, we will delve into the deepest layers of mythology to understand who Thoth, the god of the moon, wisdom, and magic, truly was. To understand Thoth, one must forget modern logic. He is one, yet he has three faces. The first is the ibis, a long-beaked bird that wandered the floods of the Nile. The Egyptians saw in the shape of its beak a symbol of the feather of truth, and in the way the ibis devoured snakes, the victory of good over chaos. The second face is the baboon. At dawn, baboons cry out, greeting the sun. The Egyptians believed these animals could read the stars and possessed an innate sense of time. Therefore, the baboon became a symbol of morning wisdom. And finally, the third face is a man with the head of an ibis, holding a scribe's palette and a staff of authority. His main city was Kaminu, which means 8. The Greeks named it Hermopolis. Here, the Ogdoad was worshipped. 8 primordial gods overseen by Thoth. The mythology of Thoth is paradoxical. How was he born? There is a shocking version. In the pyramid texts, it is said Thoth came forth from the head of Seth. This refers to an ancient drama. After a long dispute between Horus and Seth for the throne of Egypt, Seth, wishing to humiliate his nephew, overpowered him. But Horus outwitted his enemy. He caught Seth's seed in his palm and threw it into the swamp to avoid being defiled. However, his own seed, by the will of the gods, fell upon a leaf of lettuce, which Seth ate. As a result, the head of Seth, the god of chaos, began to swell, and from it emerged a shining disk. It was the moon. Thus, from conflict was born Thoth, the reconciler, a being who brings light into the darkness of chaos. Therefore, Thoth was no one's son, in the literal sense. He became the result of a cosmic compromise. But the greatest miracle Thoth performed was for the goddess Nut. She was the wife of Ra, yet she secretly met with Geb. Enraged, Ra cursed her. She would not be able to give birth on any of the 360 days of the year. Nut wept, and Thoth decided to intervene. He went to the moon, which was called Ea. Thoth was not only the god of wisdom, but also a god of the moon, so he and Ea were connected. Thoth proposed a game of checkers, or dice, senet. The wager was the moon's light. Thoth, using all his cunning, won time and time again. With each victory, he took a portion of its radiance from the moon. From the one light, he created 5 new days, which were not part of the ordinary calendar, the epagomenal days. On these days, Nut was able to give birth. Thus, thanks to Thoth's cleverness and skill in gaming, we came to have a 365-day year. And ever since, the moon shines more weakly than the sun, because Thoth took away a part of its light. Thoth is the inventor of writing. Hieroglyphs were called Medu Neter, words of the god. It was believed that Thoth granted people speech and writing so they could distinguish truth from lies. Every scribe in Egypt wore an amulet with the image of Thoth around their neck, and before starting work, would pour water from a jug in his honor. Within the temples, there were houses of life, libraries and scriptoriums where priests copied scrolls. The priests of Thoth were the guardians of this knowledge. It was believed that Thoth recorded not only events, but also destinies. In the sacred grove of Heliopolis grew the Ished tree, On its leaves, Thoth carved the names of the pharaohs, thereby determining the length of their reigns. As long as the name on the leaf remained intact, the pharaoh lived. This is why Thoth was called the scribe of the gods and the lord of scrolls. But the most important encounter with Thoth awaited every Egyptian after death. In the Book of the Dead, there is the 125th chapter, the scene of the judgment. The deceased enters the hall of two truths. Their heart is placed on one side of the scales, and on the other is placed the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and order, who was Thoth's wife. Here, Thoth is the chief secretary. He holds a palette and a reed pen, ready to record the verdict. If the heart weighs exactly the same as the feather or is lighter, Thoth says, "Enter, O justified one, your heart is righteous." The soul then departs for the heavenly field of reeds. If the heart is heavier due to sins, Thoth pronounces the fateful words, and the heart is thrown to the monster Amit. Thoth does not punish, he merely states the truth. He is the Logos, the objective law. This is why he was called he who counts the stars, tallies the sand, and measures time. Thoth was the greatest magician. It was believed that he wrote the Book of Thoth, a collection of spells that allowed one to understand the language of animals and birds, and even to subjugate the celestial bodies. A legend has come down to us about Prince Setna, who lived during the time of Rameses the Great. Setna learned of the existence of a book written by the hand of Thoth himself. It was kept at the bottom of the Nile in a set of nested boxes, protected by scorpions and snakes. Setna retrieved it, but the retribution was terrible. Thoth brought a series of misfortunes upon him. His son died, and the prince himself nearly perished. The Egyptians believed the knowledge of Thoth does not forgive frivolity. Therefore, the priests kept the scrolls in hidden places, and the Book of Thoth itself, if it ever physically existed, has not been found to this day. When Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, the Greeks saw in Thoth their own Hermes, the messenger of the gods, patron of trade and cunning. But they went further. In the city of Alexandria, a synthesis of cultures was born, Hermeticism. Thoth came to be called Hermes Trismegistus, thrice greatest. To him was attributed the Emerald Tablet, a text stating, "That which is below is like that which is above." These words became the foundation of alchemy, astrology, and European magic. Medieval alchemists sought the philosopher's stone, inspired by the works of Hermes. Even Isaac Newton, the father of physics, secretly copied Hermetic texts, trying to find in them a hidden code of the universe. Thoth is a unique god. He did not fight chaos with a sword like Ra, but conquered it with word and number. He taught people to count time, record thoughts, and believe that truth exists. Thoth is the archetype of the scientist, the magician, and the keeper of secrets. Where do you think the libraries of Thoth are located today? Perhaps it is the internet, or is our knowledge still scattered across the world, like those 5 days he won from the moon? Write in the comments what you think about the connection between Thoth and Hermes. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to not miss the story of Isis, the greatest enchantress of the ancient world. And remember, even in the age of artificial intelligence, the wisdom of Thoth remains unsurpassed.